I've been training individuals for years now, and whether it's an individual's first time getting started or getting started again after a long break, whether it was pregnancy or an injury or whatever it may be, some sorenesses can be absolutely crippling. And I'm talking about the bicep that won't allow your elbow joint to flex, or the tricep that won't let it extend, or the legs that won't allow you to descend or ascend up staircases. Things like that. It's nice to feel sore, but it's not nice, and in fact it can be totally crippling when you lose range of motion for a couple of days in any kind of joint, whether it's at the hip, at the knee, at the elbow, even at the shoulder. Sometimes the shoulders get so sore that it just is painful to lift the hands above the ears. So this video is to help you with some active recovery tips, but in the blog I talked about 4 things. Sleep. First, you need more time sleeping. Second, hydration. I gave some tips in the blog. You need to drink more. And third, nutrition. We need to eat real foods instead of the processed stuff. Okay, but in active recovery, surprisingly, outside of those 3 things that I just mentioned, the best thing you can do for your body is to work out again. Now, we want a low heart rate, aerobic workout. Okay, that flushes some of the blood, speeds up the circulation of the blood throughout the body and flushes out some of the bad stuff, brings in the good stuff. Okay, so an active recovery would look something like this. You get on a bike or a rower, or you go on a jog, and I would do that for 10-15 minutes. Then I would come in and I would do some dynamic movements, whether it's slow air squats. So I would write something like, if my legs are super sore or my hips are super sore, then I would do maybe 30 lunges on each leg. Or if my quads are super sore but my hips are fine, I might do 50 air squats. Okay, not for time. That might take me as long as I don't know, 8-10 minutes. I could take it really slow. The idea is that you're moving that joint that is super sore, whether it's the arm with some push-ups or even some ring rows, or the legs. You're just moving the joint through full ranges of motion. Not trying to hurt it, not trying to pick up any kind of intensity. We just want movement. After I would do something like that, so a cardio piece and then doing 1 or 2 movements that push the really sore muscle group through a range of motion, I would do some dynamic stretches. So I would start with something like the world's greatest stretch, which is an exaggerated lunge here, and I'm bringing my right elbow to my right ankle without my left knee touching the ground. So it looks like this. Okay, and I would hang out here for 10 seconds. Then we want to reach up for this ceiling. I would hold that for 10 seconds. Then I would drop my knee to the ground and drop this knee to the ground. Okay, and point the toe up. Okay, and then you're gonna get the hamstring. Okay, and then you're gonna stand up. Okay, so 3 stretches as part of that 1 stretch. Then I would switch legs. So with this knee up off the ground, I'm reaching my left elbow for the left ankle, hold for 10 seconds. Then my left arm to the ceiling for 10 seconds. Then I'm dropping my right knee to the floor and trying to get my left knee as low as I can with the toes up and holding that for 10 seconds. Okay, while doing that, you're gonna get your hamstrings, you're gonna get your hip flexors, you're going to get your quad, you're going to get your thoracic and upper back. You're gonna open up your chest. So the world's greatest stretch, that's the name of it, is nicknamed world's greatest stretch just because it really stretches everything. I would also do things like inchworms, okay? So with straight legs, I'm just bending down as much as I can. I inch my hands out. I'll do a push-up or a worm, whichever is easier. And then inch my hands back in and stand up, okay? What you want to do on an active recovery day is just move, just dedicated movement for 30 minutes, okay? It's nothing more than that. Cardio, if you're just like, man, everything else hurts, the best thing you can do that is gonna take the least amount of effort is some cardio piece. So going on a walk or a jog or getting on a bike, those 2 things are the easiest. A rower sometimes is a little bit harder because it requires more of like the entire body, where you have an upper back pull, you have a bicep pull, you also have legs, you have a hip hinge, where you're you're taxing the low back. But that's what I would recommend. If you have additional time at the end, I would take a foam roller and roll out the joints that are tough. And in fact, I'll talk about the foam roller here in just a second. But maybe even better than the foam roller, I would go to Walmart or Amazon and buy a massage gun. The vibration or the vibrating and percussion therapy available in a massage gun is as if you were getting a massage in real life, okay? I would buy it and keep it in my gym bag. You'll use it many times over, especially if it's in your gym bag. But you gotta get one. That thing is gonna be the best for you. Okay, the foam roller though, if my legs are, let's say my quads are super sore, the important thing you need to know about the foam roller is you're not just rolling back and forth, back and forth. You wanna find a spot that's kind of sticky or icky, that is what we say here. And when you find that icky spot, then you wanna mobilize a joint through that range of motion, okay? So if my quads are really sore, I'm gonna roll them up and then down. Let's say right here is super sore on my legs. Then first I'm gonna put pressure on it by crossing my legs and moving my body weight on that. If I need even more pressure, what I would do is I would lift up my leg and try to bring my heel to my butt and then back down, okay? If it's in my quads, I would do something like this. I would roll out till I find a spot that's kind of tough or icky, and then I can put some more weight on it like this, or I can mobilize the ankle joint through it, okay? Same thing with my lats. Find a spot that's icky. Once I do, then I can put my arm through range of motion here, through here, through here, okay? You're just trying to gain, the purpose of the foam roller is to regain mobility in some areas, specifically joints, that are super sore and restricting that range of motion. Okay, so keep that in mind. One of the last things you would want to do is ice, okay? I wouldn't recommend icing. And then also one thing that I see often that is good, but it's not great, is static stretching. So something as simple as like this or like this, okay? It's good, but it's not great. You can do better things. If anything, do some dynamic stretches, like some windmills, okay, or arm circles, instead of just a static hold, okay? Hope that's helpful.